Well, hi, hello, and welcome to episode 2 of Andy's Amusement Review. In today's episode, we go to the famous town of Radiator Springs and test our skills at the ability to race cars through this beautiful land. And by that, I mean, of course, we go to Radiator Springs Racers at California Adventure at Disneyland Resort in Southern California. It's beautiful. When my wife and I visit, we could just spend hours looking at this section of the park and the scenery of this ride, which this is all part of the scenery for the ride and the theming. And for those of you who don't know your history, when California Adventure first opened up as the second park at Disneyland, they definitely went on the cheap in building it. It was very, very lackluster. On the Disney Plus documentary, The Imagineering Story, one former retired Imagineer even remarked that it was better as a parking lot. This park was a darn near failure, and then Disney knew they had to do something, so they spent around $1 billion in the late 2000s decade, early 2010s to try and revamp the park and make it better. The centerpiece of this revamping was Radiator Springs, the Cars Land. And the centerpiece of that land is this ride. This ride and its theming just utterly dominate the skyline of the park. And I mean that in a good way. With the extensive rock detail. I mean, it looks like this is a naturally formed mountain range in the distance. It looks like it's been here for thousands of years. Not just that it was built in about 10 years ago. It looks incredibly beautiful at night here. That's one of the reasons why I have so many videos of it at night in this review. Given the choice between sleeping in my own bed at night or not sleeping at all the day before I have to be at work and spending the night in Radiator Springs Racer, I would choose to spend it at Radiator Springs Racer. Although, of course, if I would do that, I would probably be pretty bad at my job if I would never sleep, and I would probably end up losing my job and never be able to go back to ride Radiator Springs Racer. So that would not be good. Having said that, this ride is so well done, and this is, as you can see here, part of the actual ride as the cars go racing on this area here, as they are about to show up in just any second right now. You'll see them drive by. There they go as they're part of the race. This ride is the same technology as Test Track at Epcot, as well as Journey to the Center of the Earth at Tokyo Disney Sea. It blows away Test Track at Epcot. I can't comment on Journey to the Center of the Earth at Disney Sea because I have never been there. I hope to go there relatively soon, but we are not there yet. But I'm hoping the next couple years I'll be able to compare it to that. I mentioned earlier how it just dominates the style of the park. This is one of the entrances to Radiator Springs. There's two main entrances, and this is one of them. And I don't really believe in love at first sight because I think you have to know the person in order to fall in love with someone. But if it was possible to fall in love with a theme park area at first sight, walk into Radiator Springs Racer this way, and you will. The beauty of the ride. Finally in line for Radiator Springs Racers. Ready to be on the ride, but if you had the ride, the line already looks pretty stocky. Disney and some of their famous rock now we are on the actual ride here. This is the on-ride video. There's basically three main parts for this ride. There's a first part, which is a casually stroll through Radiator Springs. You get to see some of the amazing scenery they have here. Again, this blows Test Track out of the water. I mean, you could be mistaken. You cannot be blamed for thinking this whole area had been here for hundreds of years and they built the ride into this area, but all this is man-made, which I think is just incredible and amazing. I can't give the Imagineers enough credit for this whole ride. And then after you go through this area, you go into a little dark ride area, which is well done. I mean, the dark ride area could hold its own, I think, with Haunted Mansion or Pirates of the Caribbean as parts of the best dark ride areas on any ride. Although with my camera, parts of it were really, really dark, as you can see. But this area is even fun. That you have some variety, as you can go through two separate areas on one part. It's randomized, so that gives it great re-rideability as well. This ride is, like I said, easily the best ride at California Adventure, and we're not even at the best part of it yet. The best part is when you actually race, which is after the dark ride area. I could not sing enough praises for this ride. It is basically a perfect ride. Imagineer really outdid themselves on this ride, and like I said, as you almost said, hit by a truck, there will not really, of course, that'd be too dark for a Disney ride. Except, of course, for Mr. Toad's Wild Ride, where you die and go to heck, which I still find highly amusing in its darkness on that ride. But that's neither here nor there. This is about Radiator Springs Racer. I would rate it a perfect score, and 8 out of 8 stars, or since it's Radiator Springs Racer, 8 wins out of 8 races. And this is one of the parts I was mentioning, how it's randomized. You can go through this part right here, where you get him blown off, or you can go through another area where you get your tires changed. It changes every time you ride on it, so it's, like I said, adds re-rideability. The people you end up racing, are on the other end of this. If you're getting the air blown on you, you'll race someone who had their tires changed, and vice versa. And here we are about to be at the race. The actual part where you race, you see another car next to you. We're racing the green car over there, and you get up to speeds of about 45 miles per hour. Go through some hills. This is an incredibly fun part. It also always gives you great satisfaction when you actually win the race. Leave a comment down below if you typically win your races, or if you've never won a race, or how often you win your races. And we can have a great discussion on that in the comments, as well as leave a comment on how you like this ride, if you think this is the best ride at California Adventure, or even the Disneyland Resort as a whole. And if you think a ride is better, let me know what ride that is as well, and down in the comments below. And of course, as always, if you like this video, please give us a big thumbs up. And be sure to hit the subscribe button to stay up to date on reviews and vlogs.